Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? So I like to explain real quick to people I haven't read for before. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. So I try to describe the picture the best that I can. They never waste a message. There is always a reason for whatever they show or say. So if it doesn't make any sense now, keep it in mind. You'll either see it later, remember it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, I know what she's talking about. So this is not an exact science. We communicate the best way we can. Sometimes you got to stretch it outside the box a little bit. I try not to be too vague, but this is their show. I allow them to do or say whatever they want to within reason. They won't give me all the details because the details are none of my business or anybody else's. But they give me just enough so you should understand what they're talking about. So if it seems a little vague, sometimes they are vague, but they get the point across the best they can. So whatever the first thing that pops into your mind, if it doesn't click immediately, that will be it. So we're going to talk to your mom, Mildred, today. And she comes in shuffling really slow. And when they come in to me, they'll come in such a way that you should recognize them. And she'll validate a couple of things. I don't like to spend the whole reading just validating that it's them by this every single thing, because the message is the important part. Validations, when mediums do that to me, they're just patting themselves on the back and going, look what I can do. It's the message that she wants to bring you. But she's shuffling. She's got like house slipper type things on, so I don't know if they're towards the end. She was not picking her feet up. She was just kind of shuffling along. But a lot of older people do that because they're afraid to fall. She has a house robe on. Once in a while they do this. She looked at this. She's looking at you right now. And then she looks at me. And then she looks back at you and she goes, you can do this? You can see me? Just don't know what to think of this. Now she gets out a book. She's reading a book. So this must be something that she liked to spend her time doing. She says she liked her quiet time. My dear, I was ready to go. I was tired. Tired of nothing to do. She says, that is totally not your fault. It's what happens when we get older. Okay, now she has a pencil out with a book. So she do crossword books or word puzzles or something like that. She says details. Details. Was she detail oriented? She liked the details. She wanted it this way. Talking about hash browns. Sometimes they'll just throw a word out. So whatever pops in your head first, that's what she's that's what she wants to get through. She's trying to validate that it's her. So you could have just eaten hash browns, getting ready to make hash browns, or it could be some hash brown dish that she liked to make. Hit my own darn teeth. She's moving around very slowly. Okay, I can't tell where this room is at. I don't know if she was in a nursing home or if this is in her home, but she's showing me something like this, but not near as modern. Dark wood. Something like, these are actually dressers out of my bedroom that we brought into the dining room, which work out great for my office. Okay, she's showing me, she's calling it a hutch. It's brown. It's got how many shelves? I don't think it matters. It's got a shelf or two in it. These have 2 shelves. So she's saying similar, but older. Antique. She's zooming in on a picture on the shelf. Picture of 2 people, a man and a lady. So I don't know if you have this in your home and it's a picture of her and your dad. They're dressed very nice. Maybe it's a picture of yourself and your husband. I have no clue anything about you. Let me look at the wrong thing here. There's a reason she's showing me this picture. Or maybe she's still trying to validate herself. It almost looks like a wedding picture. I know you miss me. She's being very soft when she says that. I love you too. I loved what you did for me while I was here. I felt guilty. I kind of retreated. It wasn't because of you, it was because of my situation. I like to do for myself. She had this, I don't want to say, maybe a knowing about her where she could just sit and watch somebody from across the room and she wouldn't say a word. And she just sit and I don't know if I want to call her an empath. She would just kind of know what they were thinking or know what they were feeling. And that's kind of what an empath like me, that's what we do. She could almost analyze somebody, just sitting there listening to them babble to somebody else and sit there and look at them and go, yeah, I know you're lying, or I know you're hurting. That kind of a thing. She says she kept most of that to herself because most people wouldn't believe that she knew those things. She could feel those things. And older people, nowadays it's really coming out like crazy, but older people, you didn't say things like that because they would say you were crazy or you were a witch, or there's no way you could know that. I can sit down by somebody and just know what they're feeling. People say I'm crazy, but I do know. She says you're a little bit that way too, but you tend to close yours off more. Well, actually she did because she didn't let anybody really know that she could do that or felt that, and she didn't know what it was, didn't understand it. She says you have that too, that you can be sitting there and somebody next, and she's showing mostly a female, doesn't have to be just a female or any one person, and somebody can just be babbling their butt off next to you, and you can be sitting there going, no, that's bullshit lie. That's a lie. I can tell. Just know. You just know. And that's part of what I do. It's a knowing. So know that you have that. She's recognizing it now. I don't know that she knew that when she was here, that you had that too. Use it. Because when you have that, you can feel the deep pain. And they might be babbling and laughing and carrying on, but you can feel that deep, deep pain in them that they're hiding. Put your arm around them, give them a hug. They won't, you don't have to tell them why. She says you have that ability. So there's a man that comes up behind her, and she's sitting down, and he puts his hands on her shoulder, standing behind her, supporting her, with her. I saw him with glasses, and now he's without. No, let's not be wishy-washy. I saw him with a mustache and then without. So I don't know if he had a mustache off and on, or glasses off and on. Maybe he got contacts. Don't know. Dark hair. I don't know how to describe him. I need you out here. There might even be a picture of them, with her sitting and him behind her with his hands kind of on her somewhere. He keeps moving them. Looks kind of like one of those pictures like you get when the church has a fundraiser and you go get your picture taken, like a professional picture. So anyway, because they're kind of dressed up. Nice. So he's coming forward that way. He gives her a kiss on the cheek. He's not a large man, but I wouldn't say he's skinny. Okay, so anything that happens to me while I'm doing a reading is meant for you. It's not a coincidence. So my phone went off, and the song Beautiful Crazy by Luke Combs is my ringtone. So know that that song is for you. Go Google it, YouTube it, however you want to do it. And I can't tell which one I'm saying it. I think it's more from her, but it's from both of them. And I keep hearing over and over and over, "You're crazy is beautiful to me." That's part of the song. But "you're crazy is beautiful to me." So they're not calling you crazy. The man said, "Even when you feel a little crazy, we think you're still beautiful." So I think he's talking about like those hectic days when you're like, running around like crazy trying to get everything done. They said, "Me too." I'm like that all the time. I have trouble slowing down. They're both very sweet. Okay, Mom's talking about popcorn balls and stringing popcorn like on a like with a needle, and a thread, and how we used to. Oh, well, I don't know how old you are. When I was little, I don't think I ever actually did it, but make strings of popcorn, maybe put it on the Christmas tree or whatever. Or maybe you're getting ready to do this. She's saying there's a male cousin that's not exactly with her like this man, but, and usually I feel the relationship. She's not telling me. I feel like this man's probably her husband. Anyway, a male cousin, but she's showing him young, like teenage, early 20s when he left. So it's probably your cousin. But there's a cousin relationship she's run into. An aunt. Oh, darn it, she's not saying her aunt or your aunt. I see the letter A. She goes, and my mom. And my mom. She's like totally, totally in love that she felt that she found her mom. She's like doing her hands like this. I don't know if this is something she did a lot. Believe in the good book. It's not all true, but believe in the good book. I'm assuming she's referring to the Bible. Okay, so a lot of times they'll show me your path. And where the path goes straight ahead, she's showing straight off this way. And it kind of goes and goes and goes. So you must have gone off your path, or you're off your path now. I'm not sure. Let's see where she's going with this. And then it makes not a curve, it makes a hard left, sharp left, and it's going back towards the correct path. She's showing you're almost back on your correct path, and you'll know it, you'll feel it, everything will just start falling into place. It's like you're this far away. So something really hard, something took you way off, and you finally came to terms with it, she said. It immediately took a left and came straight back towards your path. She's not saying what that is, so she's assuming that you will understand what it means. I've never seen this before. So where the path is, this, and you're almost there, and she's showing a bouquet of different colored flowers when you hit that point. It's like it's there waiting for you, this bouquet of flowers. I've never seen them do that, so I'm not exactly sure what that means. So watch for that bouquet of all different colors of, I'm assuming they're wildflowers. That's what they look like. When you come to terms with it. So a bouquet of wildflowers of all different colors will be a sign from her. It will also be a sign that you're back on your correct path. So you could just, excuse me. I need to quit smoking. So you could be walking through the store, you can be outside and run across just somebody that has a little garden and it's just all a bunch of different colored wildflowers. You could see them on Facebook, somebody holding a bouquet of them or in a vase. Going through Walmart and you feel like you need to turn your head and there's a picture of a vase full of these flowers. Anything like that will be a sign from her. Make sure you validate her, acknowledge her, tell her you love her, and ask her to bring you more signs if you want to. It's your free will choice. And goodness, once you start recognizing the signs from her, it's kind of like it opens a floodgate and they go, she's getting it. She knows that's me. She knows I'm with her. Hang on, I'm asking her something. Okay, so I was asking her for more signs. They love smells. They love things you can see because it's something easy for them to do. I mean, it's not like they can move a tank real easy and put it out there. So she's talking about apple strudel. Apple strudel. Baking apple strudel. Don't know if that's something you do, that's something she did, but know that the smell of that, fresh out of the oven, when you'll get a whiff of it, you can be in your car, you can be in the store, you can be outside, you can be anywhere. Now, if you're walking through a bakery, it doesn't count. And know that that smell will be a sign from her. And For 2 weeks, every time I woke up, I smelled chocolate chip cookies. I never did figure out who it was, but somebody was saying, I'm here. I didn't associate it with anybody. She says that you are a good person and you need to think better of yourself. Stop beating yourself up. You have some kind of guilt associated with, they're showing me the path. You have some kind of guilt associated with her passing or right before she passed, or something you thought you should have done better or made the wrong decision, or something along that line concerning her towards the end. And she says you need to let that go because I was perfect. Everything happened the way it was supposed to. Do not second guess yourself. Know that I'm fine, happy, back with my loved ones. That's where I wanted to be. Tired of the shit here. And I think we all feel that way when we get that age. Know that I want you to let go of that guilt. And she's showing me the path again. I think maybe that's the one thing that waiting to grab those flowers and get back on your path. You need to let go of the guilt associated with her leaving or right before she left, or maybe some of the decisions you made towards the end. Something in there. I love you. I didn't tell you enough. So I don't know if you were there when she left, but she's showing that she saw, when she was getting ready to leave, she saw your dad and her mom, and they were standing there waiting for her, and she was doing this. If she didn't do it, if she couldn't do it, she was doing it inside. She was like so excited. They were there, and she wanted to be with them. There's almost always a large, beautiful angel at that time. And I actually got to watch somebody pass, and it was actually a beautiful experience because she was watching somebody, and that's before I started doing this. She was watching somebody. So she saw them, something we couldn't see. And I watched her for a long time before she left. Thought, what are you watching? And they do see them. We do see them right before we leave. They help us go home. So know that she was excited. She was so wanting to be with them. Again, she said again. So please don't have any guilt. I miss you too. Sometimes you feel her in the room, and it usually happens like when you get really calm and you're maybe zoned out at the TV, not really watching it, and it feels like somebody's watching you or like somebody's entered the room, but you feel it, but you don't see it, and it's like she's walking behind you. You should smell. There's some smell. I think it smells like older people have, like hospital type, medical type, older person smell. I don't know what smell to associate it with. So I hope you know which smell I'm talking about, which don't. I don't like them. It's not a pleasant memory. So if you feel like there's somebody there, it's her. And it's a very soft, very loving presence. And sometimes that smell would be in there too. And like I said, it just might just be a little whiff. I think it'll be, well, she's walking behind me and she's over here behind my left side. So it could be coming in from this way. Doesn't have to. Totally depends on her, what she wants to do. She goes, I like this. I've had them come in before and get right in my face, go, you can see me? Especially the older ones that don't know much of this. She said, I was taught that this was scary. And now she's like fluttering. Her energy is just starting to flutter with love, just love. You'll probably feel like, yeah, I don't, everybody feels it different. So I don't know how to tell you you're going to feel it. But it's like, just like the vibration goes up. So when she's walking behind you, maybe you'll have that smell too. You'll probably feel like this. They have brought me the energy of total, absolute love that they have up there once or twice, and it just literally makes me cry. It's so beautiful. So when that overwhelming feeling like that comes over you, know that that's her. Validate her, acknowledge her, tell her you love her. Ask her to bring you more, especially of that kind of feeling. Something about property. Property. So I don't know if she had property or you've got property or you're thinking about selling, buying, something about property. But she's talking about land or a house or that kind of property. She says real estate property. It's okay. It's okay. So if there's some property, if you're thinking about buying, she said it's okay. If you're thinking about selling some of her property, she said it's okay. I'm not. This is where they get a little vague, and I don't like being vague. She says yes. So whatever just went through your head, she's answering yes. So after I said property, what's the first thing that came to your head? She said yes. Or at least while I was saying that. Know that I'm always with you. And I always tell people, I promise you 1,000%. She can hear you. She can see you. Talk to her all you want to. You don't have to talk out loud to her. You can. We have telepathic ears up here. I have talked to a real live person telepathically. So you don't have to say anything out loud. I love you, baby girl. You were my rock at the end. More than you know, even though you don't think you were enough. You were more than enough. Know that I felt blessed to have you, even though a lot of times I was retreating away. She was maybe like going in her own little shell, but that's just because of the situation. It had nothing to do with you. She's going back to when you were a teenager, and she says, not so much then. Were you an ornery teenager? But I loved you through it all. Even then she's grabbing her hair and going like this. Even though you made me try to pull my hair out sometimes. Back in the day, I loved you through it all. Don't forget the good times. Don't forget how much I still love you. Okay, you're also going to hear some ringing or tinkling. She did both. Ringing could just be a bell ringing at a just random, you could be driving down the road and you hear a bell ringing, or a church bell ringing. She's not saying what kind of bell, but it could also be a tinkling. That's more like car keys or something, just tinkling, just tinkling. So if you hear that, especially in your home, know that there's nothing broken. That's her again, validator. And I'm also seeing her peeking around the corner, like her head, like peeking around the corner. Usually, they even do it to me. Like you'll see it in your peripheral vision out of the corner of your eye, and you turn your head and nothing's there. And I can see them, but it's still the same. They do it to me. So know that if out of the corner of your eye you think you see somebody peeking around the corner, know that that's mom checking up on you. Again, validate her. Let her know that you know that's her and that you love her. And ask her. Give her permission to come into your home, do these things, or it's your free will choice. Whatever you want to do, it's totally up to you. Okay, with that, they are leaving. She's telling you Merry Christmas, and she says, always say it that way. Don't let them take that from you. It's not Happy Holidays, it's Merry Christmas. She's being a little adamant about it. She says she doesn't like the new ways. It's Christmas, and she's closing what she calls the good book. Kind of almost slamming it shut. She said she doesn't like the new ways, and she slammed the good book shut. Be careful with your decisions. They always affect others. Only do them with love. Think of the love part first before you make decisions. It doesn't sound like a warning. It just sounds like she wants you, any decision, do it with love. Love is what got me here. It's all about love. Okay, with that, they're leaving. Much love to you, my dear. She's a very sweet lady. She feels like a very smart, strong, but soft lady. Okay, much love to you, my dear. Hope you enjoy. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones, and Merry Christmas. I hope you have a great day.